All right, it is 5:30. We'll call this meeting of the City of International Falls to order. It's 5:30, Monday, November 4th. First item on the agenda is pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, first item on the agenda is to approve the, Councilor Kaler is absent this evening. Please note that for the roll call. Next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. I am requesting to have item number 1 deleted from new business due to the public hearing that we had at 5 o'clock. There's some more information that needs to be compiled before we finalize that project. So the chair would entertain a motion to approve the agenda with the deletion of item number 1.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion from Councilor Holden. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Wagner. Discussion? Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And I will vote yes. Motion carries 4-0. Next, we go to the minutes from October 21st. Chair would entertain a motion to approve those.
Move to approve minutes.
We have a motion to approve by Councilor Buller,
Second.
second by Councilor Wagner. Discussion? Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
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 I'll vote yes, motion carries 4-0. Next, we go to the payments and claims. We have transfers this week from the 101 General Fund, and that's coming from the 812 Lodging Tax Fund in the amount of $831.47. We have accounts payable, the City of International Falls claims of $601,946.90. Airport Commission claims of $427.43. Airport Major Capital Claims Project, $440.58. And Airport Phase 3 claims, $27,050, for a total accounts payable of $784,864.91. Chair would entertain a motion to approve the payments and claims.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Councilor Holden. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Wagner. Discussion. Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
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 And I'll vote yes, motion carries 4-0. Next, we go to audience. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to come forward and discuss something that's not on the agenda? Please.
Good evening. Eric Strand once again. Once again, I really feel the need to voice my opposition to the development of the Kutaska building for the police department or city office uses. First and foremost, it's located in a residential neighborhood without direct access to a majority of the town except through neighborhood streets. The October 21st meeting of the mayor stated it'll be done in phases or sections progressing through the building. What you're telling people is you have no idea what this thing is going to cost. That's what you're telling taxpayers. My hang up on that is once you get into a project, you're committed to get it completed, no matter what the cost. It's like ripping apart your kitchen and your bathroom and not knowing how much it's going to be. You still need a kitchen and a bathroom. You're going to fix it no matter what it costs because you need them. So no matter what the cost, that's a problem. But that's okay. It's just taxpayer dollars. There must have been a lot of side meetings going on because a property purchase was proposed at the July 1st meeting and the July 15th meeting approval for the purchase for $1. The $4,999 was awful nice of you folks. That's okay. It's just taxpayer dollars. Lots of long-range strategic planning, due diligence, property inspection went on during those 2 weeks that included the July 4th holiday. It's remarkable. We can have 2 legal notices about assessments of 1 block of paving in the paper, and yet no notice of this building action, nor giving the affected property owners a chance to speak or disclosing how this gets paid for. That's okay. It's just taxpayer dollars. Did East Ward Councilor Kaler or at-large Councilor Holden visit with anybody in the affected area? Rhetorically, you don't have to answer. I did, and they're not impressed. I visited with taxpayers living on 19th Street to 2nd Avenue East, 2nd Avenue East to Memorial Drive to Highway 53. Those are the most affected people by this. I did not go into the back neighborhoods, just on those streets. I have 29 signatures of affected residents. Very few didn't sign. About 6 weren't home for the whole 2 weeks. Comments ranged from it should not be located in a residential area. What's next that they're not telling us? How much will it cost overall? These signers represented $23,865 in city portion of their taxes, city tax dollars paid. There's a practice used when there's really not effective communication or ability to resolve issues. It's called a cease and desist. I believe the city has had that practice in the past. I want to present this petition as a cease and desist for the 29 people that I have signed on this document. It's clearly in all of our best interests that the city and county work in synergy for the common good of us all. It's also ironic that tomorrow is a day that people can speak towards change.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything to bring to the council? All right, we'll go down to the consent agenda. We have the 2025 license renewals as presented. Cater for You LLC, Erickson's Lawn Care, Kleinfelter Synergy LLC, doing business as McDonald's, Massage by Megan Bull, TK Taxi, and Up North Builders. Chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion. Oh, go ahead.
All three of you did it. Whoa, geez, everyone's ready to do that. It's a consent agenda.
Yeah, it is.
All right, we'll go with Counselor Buller, and who wants to second that?
Give it to Tim.
All right, Counselor Wagner went for the second. There's no discussion on the consent agenda. Call the question.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And I'll vote yes, motion carries 4-0. We'll go down to item number 2, approve contingent offer of employment pending satisfactory completion of pre-employment requirements for the vacant mechanic position. Chair would entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
We have a motion by Counselor Buller,
Second.
second by Counselor Wagner. Discussion? Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I'll vote yes, motion carries 4-0. We go down to approve designating the Director of Public Works as the authorized representative for the city for the USDA Rural Development Application Process. Chair would entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Buller. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Wagner. Discussion. Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I'll vote yes, motion carries 4-0. Next, adopt a resolution for the routine maintenance agreement between the state of Minnesota and the city of International Falls for fiscal year 25 and 26. Chair would entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Counselor Holden. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Buller. Discussion. Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I'll vote yes, motion carries. Next, we have a resolution opting to increase the benefit level for firefighters who are vested in the statewide volunteer firefighter plan. Chair would entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make that
We
motion.
have a motion by Counselor Holden.
I'll second.
We have a second by Counselor Buller. Discussion. Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And I'll vote yes, motion carries 4-0. Approval for the demolition of the property located at 801 7th Street. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is property that was previously ordered for, or approved for order for demolition when it was owned by the property owner, Eisenseed. It has since been tax forfeited to the county. The redemption period for that is up. It is county property. I had a meeting with the fire marshal, county attorney, and Nathan
Heibel.
Heibel, thank you, to talk about what we do with this property, because it's a repeat problem property. The county is in a difficult position after Tyler v. Hennepin came out, which is a case where property owners essentially won a class settlement against the state in certain counties. So their hands are a little bit tied that they can't tear this property down, at least at this point. But it is a problem property. I did speak with them. They consent to the city going in and tearing it down. And it would be at the city cost, but they would waive tipping fees. So I've brought this to you for approval or direction if what we're doing with this property.
All right, and it is tax forfeited, so if we tear it down, we're not going to be able to put it onto the taxes because it's already tax
So
forfeited.
it's a unique situation. Tyler v. Hennepin put certain requirements on counties. One of them is that they do have to try sell the property for the tax assessed value. This property, I think, is like 76, close to 80,000. They'll never sell it for 80,000. Certainly, our cost could be reimbursed if that were sold. The problem with this property is it is tax assessed at so much higher a value than what it's actually worth. So they have to try for I think they said 6 months, they have to try sell it at that price, and then they can drop the price, and then they can drop it again. So the short answer is, would it be assessed right now? No. It depends on what happens with the property. We could potentially get it back if it were to sell. I don't know how likely that is, though.
So I don't want to put the county in a bad spot on this one, but if we tear it down and we accept that cost, then they're never going to get that money. So does it just keep going down and down and down? And because right now it's assessed with a building on the property, correct?
Right.
If we take it off, does that help them or does that hurt them in their situation?
For resale,
Yes.
that would be like a case-by-case basis. I would say with this particular property, it's not going to hurt the value because the structure is not a resaleable structure.
So my other question is, there was just a fire at this property, and with that fire, could we go a different route and with our universal building code, condemn that and give the county a certain amount of days to tear it down, and if they don't tear it down, then we do it and we can bill?
Yes and no. Yes, we can do that. That would be a court action, similar to what we had with ICC.
Okay?
I have not seen a successful case where the city would sue the county, state.
Oh, I don't want to sue anybody.
That's how you do that.
Oh, well, then I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was suing. I thought maybe it was just based off of what we have in place with our building codes. If it is tore down, or if it is burnt, we can tear it down and then assess, but it's obviously different because it's the county.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I will hand this one over to the council to make a decision on what to do. I am way too close to this one, and I will be abstaining, but I will open for any discussion from the council. All right, so the chair would entertain a motion to approve for demolition of the property.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Councilor Holden. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilor Wagner. Would this include the garage as well?
It would be all structures on the property.
Perfect. All right, Chair, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Please.
Yeah. Jared, do you have anything you can add to this? This isn't fixable, this isn't something somebody's gonna buy and remodel?
We've been dealing with this property for a year and a half. We had an order on it for removal this time last year, and it didn't get served on the property owner until after it forfeited. There was an incident there with police last spring, which was called in from Bemidji. We boarded it up at that time, that was March 4th. It's been condemned since that time. There's no power to the property, there's no gas to the property, there's no water to the property. And the house didn't have a fire recently, it was the garage. But all the windows are broke out of it. It's in, it would, the money to repair it, or rehab it, would be more costly than the property's worth.
Thank you. All right.
I would like to get bids on it, find out what it's gonna cost to tear it down.
Okay. If we're doing approval for the demolition, we would still then be taking bids, and then we would approve the bid later, correct?
Opening of the bids would come back to this body, yes.
Does that work for you?
Okay.
Paul? All right, so we have a motion and a second. Call the question.
Aye.
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 And I am going to abstain, so it passes with 3 for the motion and 1 abstention. We'll go to the next item on the agenda, which is set the canvassing board meeting. And I'm going to call that meeting for Thursday, November 14th at 4 o'clock to canvass the results of the November 5th, 2024 election. I'm going to hand this over to the city administrator just to give a little background, because we have a unique situation with having an active write-in campaign this year.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, the City of International Falls, with their vote, or their candidates for mayor and councilor at large, we have to canvass, same as the county does, between the 8th and the 15th of the month. What is unique, as you indicated, is we have an official write-in. And as per our resolution, the gentleman requested that we count those. Therefore, when, it's kind of difficult to explain, but when the totals come into the county, there's just going to be a write-in total. There's not going to be a name next to that total when people go out to the Secretary of State's office, because it's a write-in. So that official number will not be known until the city canvasses their numbers on that Thursday at 4 p.m.
So I just want to make that very clear, that if there is, you look at the Secretary of State's website tomorrow evening after the election, and the write-in has 1,000 votes, 5,000 votes, doesn't matter. That number does not necessarily be the final for the write-in candidate, because there could be Mickey Mouse, there could be Donald Duck. So until we get those back to the city and canvass every single one of those, we are not going to be able to declare that until the 14th of November. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So if there is more write-ins than somebody else that's on the list, there is a very good chance that that person had won. However, if one of the people that are on the ballot has more write-ins, the likelihood is they're going to win. But we won't know that until we count all the write-ins at the canvassing meeting on November 14th.
That is correct.
So at this time, with the council's approval, we will set the canvassing meeting for Thursday, November 14th at 4 p.m. The chair would entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilor Wagner. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilor Buller. Discussion. Any questions on what's going to happen? Historically, we'll get all 3 of our precincts. We'll have a list of how the candidates did in each one. So we'll have the people that are on the ballot and write-ins, people on the ballot and write-ins, and we'll count all of those. And at that day, we'll find out who the write-ins are and how many votes they individually had received. All right, we have a motion and a second. We'll call the question.
Aye.
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 And I'll vote yes. Motion carries 4-0. Next, request approval of the 2025 license renewals for tobacco and alcohol. All right, we have Citizens for Bacchus AB with a wine on sale and a 3-2 on sale. Edwards Oil, doing business as Lucky 7 General Stores, a cigarette license, a gas pump license, and a restaurant license. Super One Foods, cigarette license, restaurant license, and a 3-2 off-sale license. Excuse me. Super One Liquor LLC, an off-sale liquor license and a cigarette license. The VFW Post 2948, a pool table license, gambling license, restaurant license, jukebox license, club license, and a Sunday liquor license. Chair would entertain a motion to approve those licenses.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Counselor Holden. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Counselor Buller. Discussion. Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
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 I'll vote yes, motion carries 4-0. Next, we go to the reports of the administrator, the attorney, and the department heads. City administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. Just with, the follow-up to the last conversation regarding elections, we do have full staff at all of our polling places. We are prepared and ready to go. Lisa is the head election person for the city. She's got head judges out there. We're ready for a busy day.
Excellent.
Remind everybody to get out and vote.
Okay.
Thank you.
City attorney.
I have nothing additional tonight.
All right. Any department heads? Okay, we'll go to the reports of the mayor, council, committees, boards, and commissions. Anybody have anything to bring forward?
We had a legislation and land use meeting today, and we're moving forward on the cannabis structure for licensing fees and rules surrounding those businesses.
And the one thing that came out of land use and legislation today with that I didn't understand, and I'm so glad that we had a deeper conversation. There's gonna be, basically, I think we kind of kidded around about it, but 3,2 THC that'll still be able to be sold in the grocery stores and at the liquor stores, but a cannabis store in the community, if we get one, will be able to sell a higher, more potent product. Boggles my mind. So anyways, that was a really good discussion today at Land Use and Legislation. We will go to audience. Anybody in audience have anything to bring forward? All right, hearing none, we'll go to correspondence. International Falls, Rainier, and Rainy Lake Convention Visitors and Convention Bureau minutes are in your packet. Our city offices will be closed on Monday, November 11th for Veterans Day. Our next city council meeting is Monday, November 18th. And again, tomorrow is an election day. All of the polls in International Falls will be open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. If you're still in line at 8 p.m., you're still welcome to vote. We, by law, will not turn anybody away. I just want to say thank you to all of the people that are doing it. These are people, our friends and neighbors, and I think at the national level we hear about corruption in our voting, and these are our friends and neighbors. These are people in our community that are taking time out to do their civic duty to help. So if you do see anything weird, there's numbers to call through the state, Secretary of State's office, but I don't think in northern Minnesota we're going to worry about that. So get out and exercise your right to vote, and this meeting is adjourned.